So in today's show, I'm going to give you a task that I want you to try during the day. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Boardman. And if you are coming through at any point, if you do have any thoughts or processes or experiences, or if this relates to you, this particular show, then do stick it in the comments below and share with the community. Did we hear? So listen, one of the things that I feel we get better with resistance and resilience, sorry, not resistance, resilience is through experience. The more that we experience as a human being, as a guy, the more resilient I think that we can become. Now, resilience is super important. I very much look at resilience, if you're looking at a vision of this, as a force field around us. Now, that force field is a way to be able to deflect everyday life. Everything that we go through as human beings, right? Everything that comes our way. Stress, frustration, other people, toxic environments, work, relationships. For some, the resilience levels are very thin. So your force field is quite thin. It's not very strong. So we allow things in, and that ends up consuming us even more. For others, it's pretty thick. It's a pretty strong force field, right? So that means that a lot of shit that comes our way, we can deflect. When I was in Royal Marine training, over 32 weeks, one of the things I always used to do is just fuck us about completely. Okay, with our lockers, with our kit, with us, with our sleep. It was consistent, over and over and over again. And having been on the training team as a physical training instructor, I understand why, and I got to that side, and I probably did at the time, but I was just probably too tired to realise it. And what we're trying to do is condition the people that come through to be tougher mentally, to be more resilient, to be able to perform whilst tired and under pressure, and whilst there's curveballs. It's teaching us to adapt and overcome the situations that come our way. So over a period of 32 weeks, our resilience levels got much higher, much higher. But what they're training us for is war, is going to do this soldiering thing for real, all right, as soon as we get out of the training establishment. So it's preparing us really for when we leave training to be as strong mentally as possible. So as we went through training, we built up more experience. We kind of become numb to the effects of fucking us about because we just got on with it. It was the way that life was. Now, if you think about life will never change. There will never be like this perfect period of our lives where nothing never happens to us. There's always going to be shit. There's always going to be stress. There's always going to be frustrations. There's always going to be curveballs. There's always going to be something else that is affecting us. And I think when we accept that, one of the things I do is kind of accept that's life. But what can change is us and the way that we think and our resilience levels to the outside world, to everything external. So what we can control and what's in our circle of influence is internal. Those levels of resilience. So when you go to work today or when you face any problems today, I'm going to set you at a challenge today that I want you to 10x the amount of resilience that you show those issues, those problems. So instead of your force field being fairly thin and everything getting in and affecting you, I want you to really become, even if it's just for one day, you've got to start somewhere, become 10 times more resilient to anything that happens today. Whatever comes your way, I want you to be resilient, I want you to be strong, I want you to be able to adapt and overcome, I want you to be able to take the approach that you're going to soak it up, you're not going to react, you're not going to be reactive, you're not going to fly off the handle, you're not going to be immediately stressed and frustrated and think, fuck this, what's going on? What you're going to do is you're going to put the situation into perspective, you're going to put life into perspective, you're going to understand that whatever happens today is not going to define you, but what you are going to do is show some resilience to life and go, fuck you. I'm just going to be able to adapt and roll the punches here. I'm going to change the way that I deal with that. Rather than it consuming me and allowing it to affect me mentally and emotionally, I'm going to stay on top. I'm going to stay with my head above water rather than drowning under the problems. And resilience has to start somewhere. It's like, for me, it's like a muscle. You know, the more you train your bicep or your legs or your bum, the stronger it gets. The more we train our resilience, the more we practice our resilience, the better we get at it, the bigger our force field, the stronger minded we can become. So for today, you can't fucking complain. You can't fucking make excuses. You can't ignore the situations. You can't fly off the handle. I want you to show some resilience. Jesse, here. I want you to show some resilience. I want you to show some composure. And I want you to be able to handle situations in a different way. Realise that the small micro problems that you're having all of the time are going to be there in one way, shape or another. But it's you that's going to change. And it's only going to start if you start doing the reps to get stronger. So I want you to let me know if you're going to be in on the task down below in the comments. Let me know if it resonates in terms of the resistance as well, because this is a community and it's good for other guys to see what other guys are doing and experiences that they've had with it as well. And I just want you to be fucking like unbreakable today. Unbreakable. Even if it's just for one day, you're going to handle situations, you're going to handle your shit much better. And you're going to be stronger, you're going to be more resilient from the core, from internal out. All right, let me see it. I look forward to hearing the results. Stick them in the comments below. At the end of the day, come back to this post at the end of the day and let me know if you did it as well.